Hey, what's up, guys? In this video today, we are going to talk about middlewares, what is their use, and how we can apply the use of middleware in a practical scenario. So, first of all, how will a middleware come into picture? So, let's say we have login and I log into my application and I go to, let's say, the story page, right? So, what is happening? I'm hitting this URL. The request is going to web.php, okay, and Laravel sees that, okay, no, this is a valid URL, so I need to call this controllers this particular method. Now, in the entire scenario, if we want to do something even before the controller is being called, let's say a typical authentication mechanism or something else, we will need something which handles the request before sending it to the controller, and that's where middleware comes into picture. So I'll give you a very common and famous, I would say most used middleware, which is route. Let's say we do the route group, and the first argument will be an array where I can send a list of middlewares, and I'll say the first middleware which it needs to confirm is that it's authenticated user. So we put all these routes inside the auth middleware, which will mean a non logged in user cannot go to these pages. So if I open up localhost and then story, I'm presented with a login screen now because I'm not logged in. Whereas here I am logged in, so I can see the page, right? So that's how a middleware works. But what if we want to create something of our own? So we have this command php artisan make middleware. We will use this to first create a middleware. Let's call our middleware as user last activity. So as the name suggests, let's say we want to track the last activity of the user on the system. How will it work? Anytime a URL is requested by a user, we need to update a column on the users table, let's say, which is last activity. Okay, so I don't want to kind of go into every controller and then update the user object and then continue with my request. So this is a perfect example of us using a middleware to get the requirement done. So obviously we will open up our migration file because we need a column in our users table. I'll use a date time field. Last activity is the name of the column, and obviously it can be nullable. So this is my database level changes. Okay, I added one column in my migration. I'll need to run php artisan migrate refresh seed. Okay, or I can also use a shortcut which I commonly use, which is mrs migrate refresh seed. Okay, so now I can see there's a column last activity, and this is empty for both the users. Fair enough. I'll close my console. I'll go to app http middlewares, and we have this middleware file which was just created because we executed the command. So I'll close it, and let's just say, what do we want to do? We want to check if the user is not a guest. Okay, only then we will use the request user to create our user instance. We will set the last activity date to now. Okay, this is short form to creating a carbon instance and setting it now. I can do this, or even I can do something like carbon now. All three will result in the same output, so it's completely up to you what you want to use. Everything is fine. There is no good way, bad way. All right, so I have this in place, and now we need to let Laravel will know that we have a middleware, right? So we'll open up the kernel file which is inside the HTTP folder. If you remember, there are two kernels. One is inside the console. That's not what we are looking for. We are looking for the kernel inside the HTTP folder, because whatever we are doing is inside an HTTP request. So yeah, I mean, the nomenclature and everything is quite easy for users to understand. I think once you get hold of the things, you should be very um, comfortable in knowing what files can be found in what exact location. Okay, so I have told Laravel that on the web URLs, I have one middleware which will be executed, and that's user last activity. So I'll come to Firefox, hit refresh, and if everything is fine, my timestamp is updated. I'll hit refresh one more time. It's 48:15, 48:21. Now let me log out, log in. John. Okay, I'm here. This is updated as well. So 48:38. I will try to go to the page, add page. Let me create something, bug, and 48:56, 49. So you can see that basically the middleware is coming into picture. It is doing its thing, right? And then we are passing the request through the next variable, right? So anytime, for example, if we look at the middleware, which is redirect f authenticated. So if we find certain condition is not holding true, for example, let's say there are certain user screens which are only accessible to certain roles, so you can check the current user's role. If you feel that this user doesn't have sufficient permissions or certain roles to look at that information, then you can redirect him to, let's say, an access denied page or something like that. And if not, you can say return $next, pass the request, which is almost like, okay, the execution is done for this particular middleware. You can move ahead and check if there are any more middlewares which you need to process, or else you can go to the controller. So yeah, I mean, that's how we get our routes. Now, I think what is happening is, I'm writing a lot of code and this is not under any version control, and that really kind of takes me away. And so why don't we on GitLab new project. Okay, we will name it Code Labs Laravel, or let's say demo, and we'll create this project. I'll make it okay, public internal. Okay, let's make it public for now. I'll look into it later. So I have quite a few things configured, so I don't need to add username, password, or do this global config and everything. I have everything set up already. However, if you want, you can do those things. But what it is basically doing is it is doing a git init, which will initialize a git repository, and then it will add the remote origin, which means I will tell git that this is the URL where my repository is hosted. Then I add everything to git commit and then push. So git push origin master. Okay, I think the operation timeout or cannot read repositories primarily because I haven't configured the keys on this terminal. However, when I tried to do that using this, I was able to do it. So this is the code. Now on GitLab, we will move ahead with this, repository, and I will continue to commit the further tutorial lessons, tutorial code on this repository so that you can find it easily. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. If you like the videos, do click on the thumbs up icon. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and yeah, do click on the bell icon so that whenever I upload any video, you will get an instant notification.